Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the SUPES channel. My name is Matthew Ramos and on this channel I aim to entertain, inform, and inspire using the topic of discussion as always, which is superheroes. So guys, today's video doesn't need an introduction. I'm sure you've heard already, Spider-Man is out of Marvel. Sony has taken the rights from Marvel for the character of Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is back over in Sony. And just to put it plainly, we're never going to see Spider-Man in the MCU ever again. The current universe that he's in, the universe with all the Avengers, the coming X-Men, Thor, just every single Marvel character that you love. We're never going to see Spider-Man in that universe ever again. And I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. I never thought this day would come. Especially after a movie like Spider-Man Far From Home. That is Sony's highest grossing movie of all time under Sony. And it's the highest grossing Spider-Man movie of all time. And especially after the way Spider-Man Far From Home ended. Never in a million years would I ever think that is going to be the last time we ever see Tom Holland in the MCU. And guys, I know I'm not a big fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but never would I ever want the character of Spider-Man to leave Marvel. Just the fact that I'm never going to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man and Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool talk. I'm never going to see Tom Holland's Spider-Man grow up into an adult male who leads the Avengers. It's absolute insanity. It's insanity, and I'm at a loss for words. I'm lightheaded. I just got home from work, and even at work, like I snuck into the bathroom and I was on the phone. Like I was texting people, my phone was blowing up. It's insanity, and you know the trend has started. Boycott Sony, because Sony is the one who's taken the toy that is Spider-Man, has taken the toy right out of Kevin Feige's hands. And I'm guessing that after a major movie like Spider-Man Far From Home, where they made Spider-Man basically the new face of the MCU, I'm guessing that Sony wanted shares in the company, now that Spider-Man is the face of Marvel. And Disney isn't going to give up shares of Marvel for anything. Disney is a massive company that owns Marvel, Star Wars, Pixar Studios, many different franchises, and they're not going to give up shares in a company. So the fact that Sony pulled the plug on Spider-Man in the MCU and basically destroy the character, because now how are you going to take Tom Holland's Spider-Man, make his own separate Sony movies, Sony Spider-Man movies that are completely disconnected from the MCU? How are you going to do that? How are you going to have Tom Holland's Spider-Man never see the word Iron Man ever again? It's just absolutely insane, and I don't even know what to say, guys. I never thought this day would come, and wow, I never thought that the post-credits scene of Spider-Man Far From Home, where the entire world learns that Spider-Man's secret identity is Peter Parker, I never thought that would be the last piece of footage that I ever see Tom Holland play of Spider-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And with Marvel setting up Spider-Man to be the next Iron Man, now what is Marvel gonna do? This is the biggest hit Marvel has ever taken, and they put so much on the character of Spider-Man to become the new face of the MCU. Now that Iron Man isn't around anymore, Captain America isn't around anymore, Spider-Man was the new face of the MCU, and now that has been stripped from Marvel because Sony has taken back the rights of Spider-Man. So I'm at a loss of words, guys. Tom Holland is still gonna be Spider-Man. He's not gonna get recast, because him and John Watts, who is the director of Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, him and Tom Holland are both still under contract for 2 more Spider-Man movies. Now, whether we're going to see Tom Holland in more movies than just 2, I don't know about that, guys. Because after these 2 Spider-Man movies come that are all from Sony Pictures and completely excluded from the MCU, I think they're going to have to reboot the character at this point, because there is so much history to the character behind Tom Holland's Spider-Man. How is this kid never going to say the word Iron Man ever again? How is he never going to mention the events of Avengers Infinity War or Avengers Endgame? And on top of that, he can't use or mention the Iron Spider suit. He can't use or mention the red and black suit, because that was made from Stark technology. Yeah, Edith, that basically doesn't exist anymore. They're going to throw that out of the window. Just everything, even the red and blue suit, the Stark suit, he can't wear that. So I just don't know how they're going to take this character from Marvel and how they're gonna just keep going like if nothing happened. Obviously, now with Sony coming out with their Venom movies, Venom 2 is set to come out in 2020, 2021, something like that. I'm not sure, not specifically sure about the release date of Venom 2, but it's inevitable at this point that we are gonna get Venom, Tom Hardy's version of Venom against Tom Holland's Spider-Man. So if there isn't anything to look forward to, guys, there's some bit of optimism about this, but it's just so hard to, keep my head up and stay positive about this situation when Spider-Man is Marvel. Spider-Man is the face of Marvel. On Marvel Comics, Spider-Man is he's the logo on the corner of their comic books. And the fact that in the next version of Endgame, where Marvel assembles their whole universe, the Fantastic Four, the X-Men, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Thor, Blade, all of these new characters that are coming, the Eternals. The next time we see all of these characters assemble for their universe assembling movie, their next Endgame, that's going to top Endgame because there's more characters, there's more history. The next time we see that, we're not going to have Spider-Man in there. And, when they first casted Tom Holland, all of us were excited. They got this young, fresh actor. And we're going to see this kid grow up from being a little sophomore in high school to being an adult leader that leads the Avengers into battle. That is the face of the MCU. I mean, I dreamt of the day that Spider-Man is going to be an adult. Tom Holland, we see this kid grow up as Spider-Man. And he has an emotional death just the same way that Tony Stark had an emotional death as Robert Downey Jr.'s 10-year run as Iron Man came to an end. It's incredible, guys. Just the situation, I have no words anymore. I can't. Like, even though I'm not a big fan of Tom Holland's Spider-Man, just this kid is the face of Marvel. And man, just the other day, a couple weeks ago, a week ago, I went on a cruise and I saw Endgame for a 15th time in theaters, and people weren't even clapping for when Iron Man snapped his fingers. You know when people clapped? When Spider-Man came out of that portal and we saw Tom Holland's Spider-Man come back from being dusted away in Avengers Infinity War. Yeah, in Avengers Infinity War, everyone was crying. All the sobs, all the sniffles in the audience were because Tom Holland's Spider-Man was being dusted away. And just the only thing I could really think of, guys, when it comes to this whole situation is this quote from Happy Hogan from Spider-Man Far From Home.
I don't think Tony would have done what he did if he didn't know that you were going to be here after he was gone.
Like, the fact that in Spider-Man Far From Home, they made it seem like Tony was setting up Spider-Man to be the new face, to be the next Iron Man, to be the hero, the next big hero that the world needs. The fact that Marvel set that up in Spider-Man Far From Home, and that whole storyline, all that completely gets dusted away from the whole MCU. Wow, what a massive hit this is to the company of Marvel Studios, and I just cannot believe this right now, because Marvel set up this kid to be the next Iron Man. They even had Iron Man. They made it seem like Iron Man was preparing this kid to be the next Iron Man. Like, this is everything this is Tony's legacy. And Tony's legacy and the events after his death and everything that comes on after his death, this all just completely gets stripped away. Happy Hogan, yeah, we can never see him interact with Tom Holland's Spider-Man. It's just, there's so much that makes up the character of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And the fact that in the MCU, they made Iron Man, his relationship with Iron Man, they basically made that his relationship with Uncle Ben and Spider-Man in the comics. What Uncle Ben is to Spider-Man, they basically turned Uncle Ben into Iron Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the fact that we're never going to see this kid mention Tony, mention Iron Man, mention the events of Endgame. Like, it's just incredible because that's such a core element to the character of Spider-Man. That sense of loss. And wow, just after an event like Avengers Endgame where Iron Man sacrificed his life, and that took such a heavy toll. As we saw, it took such a heavy toll on Peter in Spider-Man Far From Home. It's just going to be incredible. And I'm going to laugh my ass off if they try to make Tom Holland's Spider-Man suddenly care about Uncle Ben out of the blue, when in Spider-Man Far From Home, he took Uncle Ben's suitcase and didn't even like show any sense of like loss, or we didn't even see any sense of emotion as Peter was packing up Uncle Ben's suitcase. So the fact that they're probably gonna make Uncle Ben, his death, they're probably gonna make that mean something now. It's too late. It's too late. You already wrote the character a certain way, and Iron Man is basically the guy who birthed Spider-Man. And the fact that we're never gonna hear this kid any mention of Iron Man, any mention of his origin, any mention of any of the events that took place. It's just, how are you gonna continue on with this character? I'm surprised they're not gonna reboot, because I don't see any way where they can continue on with the character of Tom Holland Spider-Man over in a completely excluded Sony universe.